Dr. Jeho Park wiped the red dust from his glasses and looked again at the small metal box in front of him. After 3 months of digging on Mars, his team had found something unusual in the old human settlement. The box was not like the other things they had found. It was perfectly sealed, keeping out all the dust that covered everything else on Mars. "This is different," he said to himself, carefully picking up the box. It was about the size of a shoebox and felt lighter than he expected. The date stamp on its side read, 2047, over 100 years ago. Back in his research tent, Jeho took extra care opening the box. He had opened many old containers during his career as a space archaeologist, but something about this one made him feel excited. As he lifted the lid, he found himself holding his breath. Inside, wrapped in clear protective material, was a teddy bear. It wasn't just any teddy bear, it was in perfect condition, its brown fur still soft and clean, its black button eyes still shiny. A small tag on its ear read, "Tommy Bear. Last Earth Collection, 2047. Jeho carefully lifted the bear from its box. "How did you stay so perfect?" he wondered aloud. Most things found on Mars were damaged by time and the harsh environment, but this teddy bear looked like it had been made yesterday. As he examined the bear, his communication device buzzed. It was an urgent message from Earth's Space Command. Jeho read it twice, his eyes getting wider each time. Earth had just made first contact with an alien species near Jupiter's orbit. The message described them as beings made of soft light who seemed to communicate through feelings rather than words. Jeho looked at the teddy bear, then back at the message. Something clicked in his mind. He quickly took pictures of the bear and sent them to Space Command, along with a note. "I think I found something that might help us talk to them." That evening, as Jeho wrote in his research log, he thought about how strange it was that he had found this teddy bear today of all days. The bear sat on his desk, its gentle face seeming to smile at him in the lamplight. In all his years of studying human artifacts on Mars, he had never found anything that felt so important. He wrote, "Day 89 of Mars expedition. Found sealed time capsule from 2047 containing perfectly preserved teddy bear. Condition: remarkable. Significance: potentially unprecedented. Personal note: there's something special about this bear. The timing of this discovery, on the same day we make first contact with a species that communicates through feelings, cannot be just chance." Jeho carefully picked up the bear again. Its soft fur reminded him of the teddy bear he had as a child. He remembered how that bear had always made him feel safe and happy. Now, holding this historical teddy bear, he felt those same feelings. "Maybe," he said to the bear, "you're exactly what we need right now. Maybe the best way to talk to new friends isn't with fancy words or complex technology. Maybe it's with something as simple as you." The bear's button eyes seemed to twinkle in response. Outside, the Martian wind howled across the red desert, but inside Jeho's research tent, the teddy bear's presence made everything feel calm and peaceful. Tomorrow, he would need to report his discovery to his superiors and begin proper documentation. But for now, he simply sat with the bear, thinking about how something so small and simple might help humanity make its first real connection with alien life. As he prepared for sleep, Jeho placed the bear carefully back in its protective box. But before closing it, he smiled and whispered, "Thank you for waiting all this time. I think you're about to become very important." Hae-Yun Kim stood in front of the Earth Council holding the ancient teddy bear that Dr. Park had found on Mars. After 2 weeks of failed attempts to communicate with the alien beings, she knew they needed to try something different. "Our usual ways of talking to them aren't working," she explained to the council members. "These beings don't use words like we do. They communicate through feelings. And I think this teddy bear might help us connect with them." The council members looked doubtful. One of them spoke up. "Ambassador Kim, are you suggesting we use a children's toy for our first contact with an advanced alien species?" Hae-Yun nodded confidently. "Yes, that's exactly what I'm suggesting. Think about what teddy bears mean to humans. For over 200 years, they have helped people feel safe and happy. They cross all language barriers. They represent comfort and friendship." She held up the bear from Mars. Its brown fur caught the light, and its button eyes seemed to look kindly at everyone in the room. This bear survived perfectly on Mars for over 100 years. That has to mean something. The council members whispered among themselves. Hae-Yun waited patiently, remembering how the alien beings had reacted to all their previous attempts at communication. They had shown no interest in mathematical equations, language patterns, or technology demonstrations, but they did respond to emotional signals, even if they didn't quite understand them yet. Finally, the council leader spoke. Ambassador Kim, what exactly do you propose? Haeyeon stepped forward. I want to create what I call the comfort protocol. Instead of trying to teach them our languages or show them our technology, we show them how humans connect with each other through comfort objects. We start with this teddy bear. She explained her plan in detail. They would create a special meeting room on the space station near Jupiter. The room would be filled with soft lights and gentle sounds, similar to how the alien beings appeared, and in the center, they would place the teddy bear. We need to show them who we really are, Haeyeon said. Not just our science and our machines, but our ability to care, to comfort, to connect through simple things. The council took a vote. To Haeyeon's relief, they approved her plan. Over the next few days, she worked with a team to prepare the meeting room. They studied everything they knew about the alien beings' behavior and preferences. On the day of the meeting, Haeyeon carefully placed the teddy bear on a small platform in the center of the room. She had chosen to keep the lighting dim, with just a soft spotlight on the bear. As she made the final adjustments, she remembered her own childhood teddy bear and how it had always made her feel safe. The alien beings arrived as scheduled. They floated into the room like gentle waves of light, their forms shifting and swirling in the air. At first, they stayed near the entrance as they had done in all previous meetings. Then something amazing happened. One of the beings moved closer to the teddy bear. Its light grew brighter, and the colors in its form began to change to warm, gentle shades. The other beings followed, gathering around the bear in a circle of soft, pulsing light. Haeyeon watched in amazement as the beings seemed to communicate with each other through waves of colored light. For the first time since their arrival, they were showing clear signs of engagement and interest. She smiled, thinking about Dr. Park's discovery on Mars. He had been right. This wasn't just an old teddy bear. It was a bridge between two very different kinds of beings, built on something they shared, the need for comfort and connection. As she watched the aliens interact with the teddy bear, Haeyeon knew that this was just the beginning. The comfort protocol was working, opening up a whole new way of understanding between species. Sometimes she thought, the simplest things could be the most powerful. Do-Yeon Lee had spent 15 years studying how different beings communicate. As the lead xenolinguist on the first contact team, he thought he had seen everything. But what he was watching now changed everything he knew about communication. The room was filled with the soft glow of the alien beings, who now visited the space station every day. They always gathered around the ancient teddy bear, their lights changing colors and patterns that Do-Yeon was starting to understand. They're not just responding to the bear, he explained to Dr. Park and Ambassador Kim during their daily meeting. They're sharing memories with each other through their light patterns. The teddy bear is helping them show us how they think. Dr. Park carefully adjusted his glasses. Can you explain more about what you're seeing? Do-Yeon pointed to his computer screen, which showed recordings of the aliens' light patterns. When they first see the bear each day, their lights turn golden, like sunshine. Then they share this color with each other. It's like they're passing around a feeling of warmth and safety. Ambassador Kim leaned forward, interested. Like how children share their teddy bears with friends who are sad. Exactly, Do-Yeon said. But there's more. Watch this. He played another recording. In it, the aliens created complex patterns of light around the teddy bear, making it glow softly. They're not just looking at the bear anymore, he explained. They're trying to show us something. These patterns keep repeating, but they're slightly different each time. I think they're trying to teach us their language. Dr. Park picked up the teddy bear, which now had a gentle glow of its own from being around the aliens so much. So this bear isn't just helping us communicate, it's becoming a teacher? Do-Yeon nodded excitedly. Yes, but in a way we never expected. The aliens understand that this bear represents comfort to us. Now they're using it to make us comfortable with their way of talking. Over the next few days, Do-Yeon spent hours watching the aliens interact with the bear. He noticed how their lights would change when humans entered or left the room. The aliens were learning about human emotions by watching how different people reacted to the teddy bear. One morning, something extraordinary happened. As Do-Yeon was recording the aliens' light patterns, one of them moved closer to him. Its light changed to match the exact color of the teddy bear's fur. Then slowly it created a pattern of light that looked just like a teddy bear. Duhyun sat very still, amazed. The alien wasn't just copying what it saw. It was showing him that it understood what the teddy bear meant to humans. It was saying, "We understand you." He quickly called Ambassador Kim and Dr. Park to the room. When they arrived, all the aliens began creating light shapes of things that gave comfort. Soft blankets, gentle hugs, warm sunshine. They were showing humans their own version of comfort objects. "This is incredible," Ambassador Kim whispered. "They're not just learning our language. They're teaching us theirs, using ideas we both understand." Dr. Park smiled at the teddy bear, which still sat in the center of the room. "Who would have thought that a simple teddy bear would help us learn an alien language?" Duhyun wrote in his research notes that evening, "Today marks a breakthrough in alien communication. Through the shared understanding of comfort and security represented by a teddy bear, we have begun to truly understand each other. The aliens are not just beings of light. They are beings of feeling, just like us. They simply show it differently." The ancient teddy bear had started as a surprising discovery on Mars. Now it was becoming the key to understanding a whole new way of thinking and feeling. Duhyun looked forward to learning more from their new friends among the stars, all thanks to a simple toy that had waited 100 years to help bring two different worlds together. Dr. Sumin Kang reviewed the data on her screen for the 5th time. As the lead researcher of the Interstellar Cultural Studies Department, she had made an incredible discovery. The significance of comfort objects wasn't unique to humans and the light beings. It appeared across every known intelligent species in the galaxy. She organized her findings carefully in the research center's main conference room. Representatives from 20 different space agencies had gathered to hear her presentation. The famous teddy bear from Mars sat on a special stand next to her desk. "What we have discovered is remarkable," Sumin began, displaying images on the large screen behind her. "Every civilization we have studied has their own version of comfort objects. These items help them feel safe and calm, just like our teddy bears." She showed pictures from different alien worlds. One species of tall, crystal-like beings carried small singing stones. Another group of aquatic creatures shared special shells that glowed with memories. Even the most different-looking species had something they used for comfort. "But here is the most interesting part," Sumin continued. "When we showed them our teddy bear, every single species understood its purpose immediately. They recognized it as a comfort object without any explanation." The room grew quiet as she displayed her next findings. "We believe we have discovered a universal constant. Just like gravity or light, the need for emotional comfort appears to be a fundamental part of intelligent life." One of the senior scientists raised his hand. "Dr. Kang, are you suggesting that comfort objects could be key to understanding alien civilizations?" Sumin nodded. "Exactly. Think about it. We struggled to communicate with the light beings until we showed them the teddy bear. Now we know why. We were trying to connect through logic and mathematics, but we should have started with feelings." She walked over to the teddy bear and gently picked it up. "This teddy bear has helped us understand something very important. No matter how different species look or think, they all need comfort. They all need to feel safe and cared for." The presentation continued as Sumin shared more research. She showed how different species reacted to various comfort objects. The light beings had been the first, but now other alien civilizations were reaching out to Earth, interested in learning more about teddy bears and human ways of sharing comfort. "We have started a database," she explained, showing a new screen of information. "We are collecting information about comfort objects from every species we meet. Each one tells us something new about how different beings express emotions and care for each other." After the presentation, as the representatives discussed her findings, Sumin sat at her desk and looked at the teddy bear. She thought about how this simple object, found in perfect condition on Mars, had changed their understanding of life in the universe. She wrote in her research journal, "Today marks a significant milestone in our understanding of intelligent life. We have confirmed that the need for comfort and emotional security is not just a human trait. It is a universal constant, as fundamental as the laws of physics. The teddy bear has become more than a historical artifact. It is now a symbol of what connects all thinking beings across the stars." That evening, as she prepared to send her findings to research centers across Earth, Sumin smiled at the teddy bear. "You've helped us discover something amazing," she said softly. You've shown us that no matter where we go in the universe, we're not so different after all. Chief Cultural Officer Taiwan Choi stood in Earth's largest teddy bear factory, watching as thousands of special bears moved along the production line. Each bear was made with care, following the exact pattern of the original Mars teddy bear. These weren't ordinary toys. They were Earth's newest diplomatic tools. Each bear needs to be perfect, Taiwan explained to the factory manager. These will be our ambassadors to the stars. He picked up one of the finished bears, checking its soft fur and warm brown color. The special tag on its ear read, Earth's Ambassador of Comfort, continuing a legacy of peace. The Teddy Bear Initiative, as Taiwan had named it, was spreading across the galaxy. Space stations, diplomatic missions, and alien worlds had all requested their own teddy bears. Even the most advanced civilizations wanted to learn about this simple way humans shared comfort. In his office at the Global Cultural Exchange Center, Taiwan reviewed messages from different alien species. One group of crystal beings had created special display cases for their teddy bears, filling them with soft light that made the bears glow gently. Another species, living in underground cities, had built special rooms just for their bears, where young ones could go when they felt scared or lonely. The bears are doing more than we ever expected, Taiwan told his team during their morning meeting. They're not just helping us communicate. They're teaching different species how to share feelings with each other. He showed them pictures from across the galaxy. In one image, two very different alien species sat together, a teddy bear between them. Neither could speak the other's language, but they both understood what the bear meant. In another picture, a group of light beings had created a special display, showing how teddy bears had changed their understanding of human emotions. The most surprising message came from a distant space station. The aliens there had started making their own version of comfort objects inspired by Earth's teddy bears. They created small, glowing crystals that felt warm and safe, just like a teddy bear's head. This is exactly what we hoped for, Taiwan said, reading the message to his team. We're not just sharing our teddy bears. We're sharing the idea that comfort and kindness are important, no matter what planet you're from. One afternoon, as Taiwan prepared for a meeting with representatives from 50 different worlds, he visited the museum where the original Mars teddy bear was kept. The bear sat in a special case, still perfect after all these years. Next to it were comfort objects from other species, all inspired by this one simple toy. He wrote in his report that evening, "The Teddy Bear Initiative has succeeded beyond our greatest hopes. What started as a single bear found on Mars has grown into a movement that connects species across the galaxy. These bears carry a message that every being can understand. Comfort and kindness are universal languages." Later that night, as Taiwan finished his work, he looked at the teddy bear sitting on his desk. An exact copy of the Mars bear. He thought about how this simple object had changed the way different species saw each other. The bears weren't just toys anymore. They were symbols of hope, showing that even in the vastness of space, everyone needed something to hold on to. Engineer Minji Yoon sat in her laboratory, surrounded by teddy bears and strange equipment. The bears weren't ordinary. Each one had tiny sensors sewn inside it. These sensors could receive and send feelings of comfort across great distances using technology the light beings had shared with Earth. The Dream Network is almost ready, Minji told her team as they checked the final connections. The light beings had shown humans how to build this special network that could share feelings of peace and safety between stars. Now, Minji was working to combine this technology with Earth's teddy bears. She picked up one of the modified bears, checking its soft brown fur. From the outside, it looked exactly like the famous Mars teddy bear. But inside, it held something amazing. Crystals that could connect to the Dream Network. When someone holds this bear, Min-jae explained to the visiting scientists, it can receive comfort from other bears across the galaxy. If a child feels scared on a space station, their bear can connect them to peaceful feelings from thousands of other beings. The first test of the network was scheduled for that afternoon. Min-ji had set up modified teddy bears on 3 different space stations. Each station was home to a different species, but they all understood how important this test was. At exactly 3 o'clock, Min-ji activated the network. The teddy bears in her lab began to glow softly. On her screens, she could see the bears on the space stations doing the same thing. The Dream Network was working. Messages started coming in from the space stations. The light beings reported feeling waves of comfort flowing through the network. The crystal beings said their children were drawn to the glowing bears, feeling safe and happy near them. Human families on the farthest station said their children's bears seemed to know when they needed extra comfort. The network isn't just sending feelings, Minji realized as she studied the data. It's learning. Each bear knows when someone needs comfort and can share that need across the network. She watched as the bears adjusted their glow, responding to the emotions of those around them. That evening, Minji wrote in her project log. Today we successfully connected the Dream Network to our teddy bear comfort system. The bears can now share feelings of peace and safety across any distance. This is more than just a technical achievement. It's a way to make sure no one in the galaxy ever has to feel alone. The next morning, Minji found something unexpected in her lab. The bears had created their own patterns of comfort during the night, sharing peaceful feelings even when no one was holding them. The Dream Network had become more than she had planned. It was a living system of comfort, connecting all species through their shared need for peace and safety. She sent a message to Earth's Science Council. The Dream Network is successful, but it has evolved beyond our original design. The teddy bears aren't just tools anymore. They have become a bridge between all feeling beings in the galaxy. Through them, we are learning that comfort is not just a human need, it is the language that all life speaks. As she finished her report, Minji looked at the glowing bears in her lab. They had started as simple toys, became diplomatic tools, and now were something even more special. They were the heart of a network that connected the feelings of beings across the stars. Dr. Jinwoo Baek was working late in his laboratory when the emergency alert came through. A massive solar storm was heading towards several populated systems. The radiation levels were dangerous, and traditional shields might not be strong enough to protect everyone. Jinwoo looked at the modified teddy bears in his lab, thinking about how they connected to the Dream Network. He had noticed something interesting in his research. When the bears shared comfort through the network, they created a special kind of energy field. What if we could use this field to protect people, he wondered. He quickly called his research team and the light beings who helped manage the Dream Network. They didn't have much time before the solar storm would reach the first colonies. The teddy bears don't just share feelings, Jinwoo explained to the emergency response team. They create a field of protective energy. We've seen it in our tests, but we've never tried it on a large scale. The team worked quickly to prepare. They connected all the bears on the Dream Network to full power. The light beings helped strengthen the network, adding their own energy to the system. Throughout the threatened systems, the modified teddy bears began to glow brighter than ever before. As the solar storm approached, Jinwoo and his team monitored their instruments. The bear's protective field was growing stronger. It spread from bear to bear, creating a network of safety that covered whole planets and space stations. When the storm hit, something remarkable happened. The teddy bear's protective field didn't just block the radiation, it transformed it into gentle healing energy. The same technology that shared comfort across the galaxy was now protecting millions of lives. The bears are doing more than protecting us, one of the light beings explained to Jinwoo. They're turning something harmful into something helpful. This is what comfort truly means, changing fear into safety. After the storm passed, Jinwoo studied the data from all the protected systems. Not a single person or being had been harmed. The teddy bear's field had worked perfectly, creating a shield of comfort that nothing dangerous could break through. In his report to the Galactic Science Council, Jinwoo wrote, "Today we discovered that comfort is not just an emotion, it is a force that can protect and heal. The teddy bear's ability to share peaceful feelings has evolved into a shield that can protect entire worlds. This discovery changes our understanding of both comfort and safety in the universe." News of the bear's protective power spread quickly. Space stations and colonies everywhere requested more modified bears. The light beings worked with human engineers to make the Dream Network even stronger. Soon there were plans to create permanent protective fields around vulnerable planets and stations. Jinwoo kept the first bear that had shown signs of creating the protective field on his desk. It was a copy of the original Mars teddy bear, but now it glowed softly with its own inner light. Looking at it reminded him that sometimes the greatest scientific discoveries come from the simplest things, like a toy that was made to give comfort to a child. That evening, as he finished his work, Jinwoo thought about how far they had come. A teddy bear found on Mars had led them to discover not just new ways to communicate and connect, but also to protect and heal. The power of comfort, it seemed, was stronger than anyone had imagined. Historian Yi Jin Kwon walked through the Universal Museum of Sentient Achievement, heading to its most popular exhibit. 50 years had passed since Dr. Park found the teddy bear on Mars, and now Yi Jin was finishing her book about how that discovery had changed the galaxy. The museum's central hall held the original Mars teddy bear in a special display case. Even after all these years, its brown fur still looked perfect. Next to it were pictures and artifacts showing how teddy bears had transformed life across the stars. This is where it all began. Yi Jin explained to a group of students from different species who had gathered for her tour. A simple toy, made to comfort children, became the key to understanding each other across the galaxy. She showed them the first pictures of the light beings meeting the teddy bear, the early designs for the Dream Network, and images of the protective fields that now kept so many worlds safe. Each step of the story showed how comfort and kindness had spread among the stars. Today, Yi Jin continued, we have more than just peace between species, we have true understanding. The teddy bears taught us that no matter how different we look or think, we all need the same basic things: to feel safe, to feel cared for, to know we're not alone. She led the group to a new part of the exhibit, where a wall of screens showed live images from across the galaxy. On every screen, they could see the soft glow of teddy bears connecting through the Dream Network. Space stations, colonies, and planets all shared in this web of comfort and protection. The bears do more than protect us from danger, Yi Jin said, pointing to recent data. They help us understand each other's feelings. When one species feels joy, the network shares that joy. When another faces trouble, everyone can send comfort and support. In her research notes, Yi Jin had documented many stories of how the bears had helped during difficult times. There were tales of lost ships finding their way home by following the bears' signals, of peace treaties signed because both sides felt the comfort they shared, and of new species joining the galactic community because they recognized the feeling of safety the bears provided. As she finished the tour, Yi Jin took the students to a special room where they could see the newest generation of teddy bears being made. These bears were even more advanced than the earlier ones, but they still looked just like the original. Each one carried the same message of comfort that had started with a single bear found on Mars. The most important thing we learned, Yi Jin told the students, wasn't about technology or protection or even communication. It was that comfort is universal. A simple teddy bear showed us that every being in the galaxy shares the same basic needs and feelings. That evening, as Yi Jin finished the final chapter of her book, she sat in her office at the museum. On her desk was her own teddy bear, connected to the Dream Network like all the others. As she wrote the last words, she felt the gentle warmth of millions of other beings connected through their bears, all sharing in the peace and comfort that had started with one remarkable discovery on Mars. Her book ended with these words: the story of the Mars teddy bear is more than just history. It is a reminder that the simplest things can have the greatest power. In a vast and complex galaxy, it was a child's toy that taught us the most important lesson of all: that beneath our differences, we are all connected by our need for comfort, kindness, and understanding.